Exterior stadium, night. Elvis Presley, 42, wearing one of his trademark bejeweled jumpsuits, waves to the screaming fans that surround the stage, filling the massive stadium. Behind Elvis, a huge band playing the usual closing vamp packs the stage under flashing lights that spell Elvis's name over and over.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Dozens of hands, clenched into claws, reach up from the edge of the stage as rabid fans grasp for a brush with greatness. Elvis's smile falters as he backs away. Elvis turns to hurry backstage, but a crush of fans, giant grins plastered on their faces and tears running down their cheeks, fills the wings, blocking his path. Like the audience at the edge of the stage, they all reach for Elvis, those in the back trying to shove their way through or climb over top of the front row in their zeal. Terrified, Elvis backs away from the crush of people blocking his way backstage. He puts his foot down inches from the edge of the stage, and one hand grabs at his ankle. Elvis stumbles backward, thrown off balance, his arms pinwheeling as he falls toward the audience. Interior Elvis's bedroom, night. Elvis, now wearing only boxer shorts, bolts upright in bed with a gasp. A boxy CRT TV lined with wood paneling sitting opposite the bed displays static, casting a blue light on everything. The folds in the drapery lining the room create vertical bars of black shadows on every wall. Shaky, Elvis climbs to his feet and staggers to a door, exiting to interior Elvis's bathroom. Elvis flicks a light switch and winces at the sudden glare. Bright white bulbs surround a huge mirror, and the shiny tiles on every surface reflect the light, giving the room a dazzling brilliance. Hair products, vials of cologne, and bottles of pills litter the area around the sink. Whistling Brindisi from La Traviata, Elvis's hand hovers over the bottle, searching. After a moment, he picks up one of the bottles of pills and shakes one out in his hand with a rattle. A knock at the door echoes the sound of the bottle. Elvis whips round to glare at the door.
Well, unless you got a damn good reason, get out of here.
More insistent knocking rattles the door nearly off its hinges. Elvis storms toward the door.
I said...
Elvis throws open the door to reveal two aliens, green-skinned and clad in silvery armor, and each aiming a ray gun at Elvis.
Oh, hell.
One of the aliens grabs Elvis's arm, and all three disappear from the bathroom, popping out of existence. Interior spaceship throne room. Elvis and the two aliens reappear in a massive throne room, every surface made of dark metal. Two guards, identical to the ones who took Elvis captive, stand at attention on either side of a huge throne. The throne itself looms over the room from its spot atop a flight of stairs like a step pyramid. A massive window with a view of the earth dominates the wall opposite the throne. Emperor Praxis, a little north of 50, sits draped across the throne, his skin green like the aliens who kidnapped Elvis, an enormous ornate crown perched on his head.
Whoa, baby, hold up. What's going on here? What's with the jerk with the headgear?
One of the aliens kicks Elvis in the back of the knee, throwing him to the ground.
Hold your tongue. You are in the presence of Emperor Praxis Duralius the 57th, ruler of 8 galaxies and countless stars.
Is this some kind of joke?
I'm afraid it isn't.
Praxis stands and saunters down the steps surrounding his throne towards Elvis, his long black cape trailing behind him. Glaring, Elvis shakes off one of the alien's hands from his shoulder and jumps to his feet.
It was pathetic how easy it was to capture you, King.
Elvis stands there in shock for a moment before laughing.
You really had me going there for a minute, little green man. Who thought of this, huh? Was it the Colonel, wasn't it?
I assure you, none of your warriors had anything in this part of this. As you can see, you are far from protection now.
Elvis spots the earth outside the window. His jaw drops.
Well, that's impossible.
You are aboard my warship. I am prepared to wipe out every human off the face of the earth. That is, of course, unless you surrender.
Unless I What do I have to do with it?
You are the king, are you not?
Well, there's only one king, baby. It ain't me.
Enough stalling! Surrender, Earth King!
I already told you, I'm not the king. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't hand over the keys to this Cadillac.
Enough of these pathetic lies. You will do as I say, or I'll have a front row seat to your species extinction.
I keep telling you.
Or perhaps destroying your world would be a mercy, considering the cowardice of its king. But we'll see whether you have more confidence in your station after a few days in one of my cells. Take him away!
Elvis struggles as the two aliens begin to drag him away.
You can't do this. When they notice I'm missing.
But they won't notice. We replicated your body and left it in your place. Your subjects will think their king is dead. As long as I find it convenient.
Well, I hope you at least left me with some dignity.
Interior, Elvis's bathroom. Elvis's bloated body lolls on the toilet. Interior spaceship throne room. Praxis turns to ascend back to his throne as the aliens drag Elvis through the sliding metal doors of the entrance to the throne room.
I assure you, Earth is not coming to save their king.
Interior cell. Elvis stumbles and falls on his hands and knees, shoved to the floor in a bare stainless steel room, lacking even the comfort of a chair or bench. One wall opens onto a long hallway that extends as far as the eye can see in both directions. On the opposite wall, a tiny window gives a postage stamp view of the Earth. Two aliens who captured Elvis stand in the doorway.
Since you're so concerned with your dignity,
The alien throws one of Elvis's jumpsuits to the floor next to Elvis before a shimmering blue force field appears, blocking off any escape. The aliens march back down the hallway, disappearing from view. Elvis rolls over into a sitting position before casting a long, sideways glance at the jumpsuit, and then another look down at his boxers. With a huff, he snatches the jumpsuit off the floor and puts it on before pacing the cell. Footsteps echo down the long hallway, and Elvis stops dead. He looks both ways, almost pressing his face to the force field, but he can only see a few yards in either direction. The footsteps grow louder with every step, clicking against the metal floors. Elvis listens carefully, trying to pinpoint the direction of the sound as he watches. Trill, mid-20s, a literal, green-skinned space babe, comes into view wearing a silver dress that doesn't cover much and leaves little to the imagination where it does. Heavy black bands of metal enclose her wrists and neck, and she carries a tray holding a minuscule amount of strange objects that might be food. Noticing her, Elvis leaps into a karate stance. Trill jumps in surprise, dropping the tray. She gasps as some sort of wriggling mush goes everywhere. At her reaction, Elvis relaxes.
Oh, sorry about that, Sugar. I thought you were someone else.
Forgive me, but you still must be confused. My name is not Sugar.
Trill drops to her knees, gathering the spilled food.
Forgive me also for ruining your meal.
By the looks of it, you did me a favor. What's your name?
I'm sorry, but my name is not worthy to be heard.
Anyone ever tell you you apologize too much?
The mess now contained on the tray, Trill stands but keeps her eyes downcast.
But I must apologize. The very presence of one such as I must be offensive, especially to a king.
For one thing, I'm not a king. For another, I don't see what's so bad about you.
I'm a slave.
A slave?
You are surprised? Surely you must have many back at your palace of Graceland, your highness.
Any man who needs slaves to feel in charge doesn't deserve to be called himself a king or an emperor.
For the first time, Trill makes eye contact.
Such words are unthinkable, evil.
With you, Sugar, I don't want to be good.
Trill. I'm Trill.
Interior, spaceship throne room. Praxis leans forward on his throne, his fingers drumming in boredom. A bent and decrepit advisor, 60s, wearing a long robe, his hands folded, stands in front of Praxis.
Tell me what you know of this king.
His rule is very public.
A hologram of Elvis performing, blue and ghostly, appears next to the advisor.
He constantly makes appearances to address his subjects.
The buffoon. The people may be glad to be rid of his tedious performances.
On the contrary,
The hologram changes to show a segment of a screaming audience in front of the throne.
his subjects delight in seeing him.
I see.
But these are cheap theatrics, my liege. A true ruler knows to stay out of the spotlight.
Yes, you are correct.
Interior, slave quarters. A long room stretches into the distance, the walls and ceilings all cold, unadorned metal that reflects the harsh white light. On either side of the room, small cots about the walls, leaving just enough space between the foot of each bed to allow passage through the room. A line of identically dressed slaves, including Trill, file into the room, silently trudging between the beds. Every so often, one of them finds their bed and steps out of the line. Trill sinks into her cot and lays down. The room goes dark. She waits a few moments before reaching under her thin mattress and retrieving a small piece of jewelry, a bracelet encrusted with colorful gems. Trill holds the bracelet up, slowly rotating it. Even in the dark, the gems glitter. Interior, cell. Elvis leans against the back wall, propping himself up with one arm, crooked over the top corner of the window. He gazes out the window at Earth, his face nearly pressed against its transparent surface. With a sigh, he pushes himself away from the wall to pace the short length of the cell.
Interior guard room. 2 alien prison guards, 40s, burly, grizzled, and with bulging guts visible even under their armor, sit around a metal table in a room that's barely larger and more comforting than Elvis's cell, betting on a game involving colored tiles. Ray guns cover a rack on one wall. Trill enters, looking down, carrying another tray, this one piled with wriggling food. She sets it on the table and steps away to leave, when one of the guards grabs her and pulls her into his lap.
Where do you think you're going?
My apologies, but I must be back at the kitchen.
Are you saying what you want to do is more important than what I want you to do?
Although her eyes have been firmly locked on the floor since she came in, Trill looks up at the guard for just a split second in a flash of anger before looking away.
You dare look at me, you!
Enough! You're just stalling because you're down 6 quatloos.
The 2 guards stare each other down. Trill's eyes widen as she notices a strip of metal, etched with circuitry dangling from the guard number 1's belt. A futuristic key. Moving slowly, she reaches down and unhooks it, palming it.
Can we just get back to the game?
Prison guard 1 laughs and roughly shoves Trill out of his lap. She tumbles to the floor to the guard's amusement, but manages to keep the key hidden. Without making a sound, she climbs to her feet and leaves. Interior cell. Elvis bolts to his feet as he hears the footsteps, but relaxes when he recognizes Trill.
Oh, it's you, Trill. You're not bringing me more food, are you?
I am sorry for disturbing you,
Stop saying sorry for everything.
but I'm getting you out of here.
Trill pushes the key into the slot in the wall next to the cell, and the force field shuts down.
This way.
Interior hallway. Trill runs down the hallway with Elvis trailing behind. She slows as she reaches an intersection where a perpendicular hallway cuts across and peeks around a corner. The 2 prison guards, both carrying ray guns, lumber down the perpendicular hall towards Trill and Elvis.
What now?
This way leads to the hangar. Go ahead when it's safe. I'll catch up if I can.
Trill steps around the corner, sashaying up to the prison guards.
I still don't know how, but I'll figure it out.
Is it really easier to believe that I cheated than you're no good at Sargus?
As Trill passes the 2 prison guards, she flashes them an alluring look through dark eyelashes. Prison guard 1 grabs Trill and slams her against the wall.
What are you looking at?
Down the hall, Elvis rounds the corner, storming towards them. Instead using Trill's distraction as an escape. The prison guards focused on Trill don't notice.
Stop screwing around.
Elvis sucker punches prison guard number 1 in the head. The force of the blow throws prison guard 1 to the floor. Prison guard 2 levels his ray gun at Elvis.
Freeze! Get out of here.
Elvis stops dead, eyeing the gun. Ignored by the prison guard, Trill tiptoes behind prison guard 2. Prison guard 2 motions down the hallway with his gun.
All right, back to your cell.
Trill swings her arm, slamming the thick metal shackle of her wrist into the guard number 2's head. She steps over the prison guard's bodies to sprint past Elvis down the hallway.
Come on!
Don't need to tell me twice.
They race around the corner, past the doors to the prison cell after prison cell. Red light suddenly bathing the light, daze the hallway and Glaxon's Blair.